and welcome again to another HippieClecticHope for Yang video. I'm sorry I haven't been able to make as many videos as I would like in the last couple of weeks with Andrew Yang suspending his campaign, Yang Gang not so much, and just everything that's gone on Civil War wise since, and jewelry and everything else that's been, I've been too busy to blog it. So be that as it may, so much to cover then. Basically, first off, I have started launching my jewelry on Etsy. I found it to be a far superior platform than the simple site shop that I had set up last fall. So take a look at HippieClecticHope on Etsy. I will post the link in the description. I am getting more and more of my styles up, and I will be able to show you some of them today. So very cool, and more stuff coming. So I'll be able to give a little spoiler alert, and can't wait. So anywho's, in further developments, I'm continuing to build my case against the former owner, my son's biological father. I've been in touch with so many agencies and been referred to so many more. I'm working with a couple of federal government agencies that I'm not at liberty to disclose, who will more than likely be able to assist me in, gaining closure for myself and my son, and being able to provide an actual future where our lives aren't hanging by a thread that Thomas Stetzer may choose to cut at any time. So, be that as it may, gaining ground on that federal case. So, should have some good news, hopefully sooner rather than later. In the meantime, the former owner has returned to court to file another motion for non-compliance on the visitation. I have, again, been the only one in contact with the visitation center that we selected from the court-approved list. Racketeering! And so I have turned in my intake paperwork. Thomas has claimed falsely, as with all of his claims, that I have not done the intake paperwork. I've not been in contact with the visitation center. Of course, that's all false, and I can verify that with emails. So, no problem. I am, even though I know I'm being summoned to court, and I don't know when, because that part wasn't sent in the letter. All I received was his motion for the non-compliance hearing. So I didn't receive a decision or a court date or anything further than that. So for all I know, it was dismissed because Torrington's tired of it. I don't know, I wasn't there. But I do know to be prepared for battle, legal-wise, as I have been preparing and strengthening my case. So, keep compiling the evidence log. I also have been in touch, regained contact with some friends from Wisconsin, and they, I'm sure, remember, why I got lured specifically to Denver, Colorado, and by whom. So, and that in the homeless community here in Denver, would certainly be able to confirm the basis, well, the foundation, the starting point for the interstate human trafficking charges which are upcoming against the former owner Thomas Stetzer. Too many people know why I'm here from Wisconsin across state lines, and too many people know what has happened since. Too many people know, that this man lured me here to force me to give him a child so that he can get a housing voucher by having a disabled person and a child in his supposed care. That is the entire purpose for Thomas Stetzer luring me here from Wisconsin. So, then everything that has happened in the 6 years since then, the 5 years of slavery and the 1 year of Operation Freedom, it's just, and it's an absolute mountain of evidence against this man. So even though I'm on edge and I'm nervous, because of course this is a very important legal matter, our lives hang in the balance. However, I'm not scared, because I know that, the evidence is in my favor. All Thomas Stetzer has ever had is perjury to back his side of things. And the more that Judge Jennifer Torrington abuses her position as a Denver District Court judge to enforce rape and slavery as the laws and to violate the 13th Amendment, the more this continues. I'm not afraid of what Jennifer Torrington can do to me. I'm more afraid of what she can do to my son, which is why I'm acting in such, determined manner to free ourselves from slavery to Thomas Stetzer. My son and I have a legitimate future waiting for us up north in Canada, wherever we want to settle, through the entrepreneur startup program. So this is, it's really coming together if Thomas Stetzer would finally be barred from our lives and allow us to have our lives. All he has is perjury. He's lying about having a job, lying about having housing, lying on his own, independent of a human which he's been exploiting so many. The most recent one, he reports that she passed away on the 13th of February. So that was right after the last court hearing. It was my previous video. So for her to have died a day and a half later, that raises the hair on my neck. I'm not afraid of Jennifer Torrington because the federal agencies have way more power than she does. Once she's aware that the agencies I've partnered with are working to investigate this interstate human trafficking and her compliance in it, as soon as she realizes all that, she'll know the jig is up and she'll just have to let these two slaves go free. She can't carry out her plan to have me jailed for non-compliance and have my son awarded to his father by default. This has been her intention, made obvious in December. I can't let it happen. My son would die in Stetzer slavery hell without me or anyone to keep him safe. He would never be seen again. And I can't let that happen. I can't But I can't. I have to keep my son safe. So that's why I'm working so hard. And I need to keep pushing. Since he can have such an amazing future up in Canada with the entrepreneur startup program with my jewelry and my graphics art. Sorry, needed a minute to chill out. Anyhow, I'm trying to provide Aaron a future where he can be an artist and create his own dreams. Use art as a foundation to build himself, to do whatever he wants with his life. I want to open the whole world to him. That starts in Canada. It certainly doesn't start here in Denver, Colorado. Unless we can finally be made safe from Thomas Stetzer and be able to exist safely here. Thomas Stetzer and Jennifer Torrington are bound and determined to do whatever it takes to remove my son's potential bright, amazing future from any possibility. The former owner proclaims himself to be a third-generation outlaw biker, and Thomas Stetzer and Jennifer Torrington are bound and determined to make my son think that he's a fourth-generation outlaw motorcycle biker who needs to prey on disabled women and homeless, drug-addicted prostitutes, or whatever flavor my son would be taught to fancy, to abuse, to attack, to exploit, to endanger, to consume, to destroy, as Thomas Stetzer's been doing since he turned 16 years old in 1979. Aaron can become that, or he can become an architect, or a paleontologist, or a doctor of any field, or any of the sciences, if he wants to stay with art, if he wants to branch out. I mean, my son could do anything and be anyone he wants to be. He's amazingly brilliant. He learns things so quickly as soon as he gets the beginning of confidence on a subject. He just takes off on it. Aaron is a miracle in every possible way. And that miracle cannot become a fourth-generation delusional wackadoo serial predator who thinks he's an outlaw motorcycle club member just by being forced into existence by a serial predator who claims ties to the outlaws. Yet he blabs about make-believe criminal exploits as bad as he says the Hells Angels do on all the documentary films. So this guy is just all kinds of dangerous and all kinds of delusional, and he can't be allowed to control my son's future. I can't let that happen. So So that's why, I'm making this big push with HippieClecticHope to get us freed from captivity and abuse. So, moving on to positive topics, because I hate going on and on about a problem without proposing a solution. And art is an amazing solution in the 21st century. Hold on one second, let me get ready here.